Hi, I'm Andrew Ackerman. I'm the Managing Director of Dreamit Urban Tech. One of the questions we ask and hear most frequently right now is, so, how has COVID impacted your startup? It seems like a very simple question to ask. It's actually a surprisingly hard one to answer. If you're fundraising, you're going to need slides to address it, but even if you're just trying to explain to your investors and your employees how COVID has impacted you, here are 3 questions you need to answer. Okay, slide number 1. Is the new normal better, worse, or about the same for your startup? Most startups are on the cutting edge of emerging trends. What that means for them is that sometimes their biggest challenge is finding the customer prospects who are willing to embrace those trends rather than fighting them. For example, let's look at telemedicine. A lot of the providers have been reluctant to embrace telemedicine because of privacy concerns, because of billing concerns, because of operational concerns. For them, face-to-face medicine's been working pretty well. So they've taken telemedicine and put that in the, okay, let's figure that out later bucket. Well, COVID killed all that. Right now, they have to do telemedicine, and they're figuring out a way to make it work. And it's inconceivable that when this is all over, they're going to say, yeah, that worked last month, but now we can't possibly do that. And it's not just telemedicine. If your startup is in remote work or distance learning or things like that, COVID has just proven that resistance is futile. The future is actually pretty rosy for you, if you can get there. Okay, that brings us on to slide number 2. How do you make it to this new normal? These long-term tailwinds are going to be useless to you if you can't survive that long. And unless you're one of those rare startups that's directly fighting COVID, it's going to be, at a minimum, a slow couple of months. So take a moment, cry into your beer, and let's move on. Your mission is to get to 12 months runway. We could recover sooner, may take longer, may vary by region, may vary by industry, but 12 months is a good rule of thumb. Next, if you haven't already done so, you got to apply for your PPP loans. It's basically 2 months free money. So if you haven't applied already, pause the video, go do that right now. I'll wait. The next step, cut your burn, drastically if necessary. The startup I just mentioned, they cut their burn by $150,000 per month. The sooner you bite this bullet, the further it's going to take you. Also, you're probably going to need a raise around. Your best bet here are your current investors. They know you already. They've already invested some money in you. They're most likely to put up a little bit more money to protect their investment. But just be prepared for less generous terms. But hey, a down round still beats a dead startup any day. Okay, now for the fun part. Slide number 3. Can you make lemonade out of lemons? You don't have to just batten down the hatches and wait for the storm to pass. There are often opportunities buried in crises, and you have to go look for them. For example, Cognition is a Dreamit company. They use image recognition to make sure the person who just swiped into a building is who they say they are. They can connect to any IP-connected camera, even a thermal one. But pre-COVID, who cared? Now, they've created a limited-use version of their software specifically for screening tenants, delivery, and service people for elevated body temperature. And they're offering that for free. Another Dreamit startup, eDraw, helps lenders process construction loans online and all in one place, which means that they can work remotely. So eDraw is offering their services to their customers for free for the duration of the crisis, knowing that once they've had a taste of what eDraw can do, they are never going to go back to the hodgepodges of emails, faxes, and spreadsheets that they're currently using. So what this means for you is you need to look into your current feature set and see if there was something that before was fairly minor, but that now is very relevant. You want to look into your dev pipeline and see if there's something that you were going to develop later that maybe you want to move up in response to this crisis. Even if you misjudge the situation and the market doesn't respond the way you expect them to, at least you're moving in the right direction. And if your customers are cash constrained, offer it to them for free. If they're considering a number of different vendors for the solution that you offer, this is a great way for you to become the incumbent for when it's time to start charging again. Okay, time for a quick recap. Question number 1 was, is the new normal better, worse, or about the same for your startup? After all, your investors want to know if they still love you. Question number 2, what does it take to get to that new normal? Long-term tailwinds don't help you if you're dead before they arrive. And number 3, in the meantime, can you make lemonade from lemons? A lot of opportunities buried in the crisis. You don't want to miss it. And that's your Dreamit Dose in about 5 minutes. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments section. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. We got a lot more of these coming. In the meantime, please stay safe and wash your hands. Slide number 1 is the new. A lot of pride. Your best bet here are they use image recognition coupled with. No, fuck. Start again. I knew I'd screw it up. Oh, there you go.